To juggle. We are recording. Welcome.
Hello and welcome to the Alphabet Game with Janine and Dr. Brenda. We come to you from different parts of the continent to share in some fun and some play and to see what joy we can bring you today. I am an empowerment coach, integrative health, and I'm a hypnotherapist and working very close to getting my rapid transformational therapist designation, which is pretty exciting. And I love to work with women, and my specialty is around women's empowerment and play. So here we come today, and we're going to splash in the letter C, and we're going to dive around and explore those words that come to our mind and that you can bring to us so that we can share some of the experiences we've had and some of the knowledge that we've gained with you. I know for me, the letter C is one of the best words for me. A lot of my really transformational words come from the C group. So I can't wait to dive into it. And here is Dr. Brenda.
My curiosity is piqued, and I'm so glad you talked about us different parts of the continent, not the country, the continent. I'm at Island, Texas. Oh gosh, I'm winding down my stay here, picking up my wheels. Well, sort of. Wheels are going to be rolling again March 1st, headed west. I'm Dr. Brenda, sociologist, financial coach, founder of Gutsy Women Finances, community where fun and finances meet. Full-time RVer, traveling the U.S. with my 3 cats. And it's the alphabet game. Today is C. You want to go first?
Well, you go first because I'm just trying to get get it live.
So we have technology. Well, I got to go first with cats.
Yeah, okay? You've already started the ball going.
I have started cats. See, I travel with 3 cats. So I grew up on a dairy farm in Wisconsin, and there's a picture of me, and I have this cute little dress on. I'm not a dressy person, but I got a cute little dress on. I'm in a rocking chair. And I'm holding Tabby the cat, which was our barn cat, but managed to get inside the house to have a litter of, they have litters? They've got a whole bunch of kitties underneath the sofa. So I've lived in poverty in my early 30s, and I did not feel like I was in a good enough place to take care of a cat until must have been about 40. I'm like, okay, I've got a home. I feel stable. I'm going to be a cat mama. And that sort of like led me to being a real mama because I adopted a little girl. But having cats, more than just like they're cuddly, they're cute, they're my companions, but it also represents sort of security for me that I'm on the road now, and I was afraid I wouldn't be able to. I just terrorized these poor cats as I drove around, but they're doing great. I love my cats. Yay. Cats, compassion, security.
I love how you brought up your compassion for cuddly, cute cats, because that is really what it's about. And animals, I've got kids, and sometimes. Let's see, there's no kids around. Sometimes I wish they were cats so that they wouldn't talk back. So I've got a puppy dog, and I love my dog because there's a bond there that you can't find with a child because they talk.
So I want to know, you said C is one of your favorite words because like all of your transformational stuff starts with C. So give me the C word that is strongest right now. Give me the C that's like, yes, this is what I do.
Connection.
Connection.
Without connection, we don't have much. As you know, we're born into this world, and we as humans are instantly connected, and we need that connection. And what happens to us throughout our childhood, and throughout our growing up years is that if our needs aren't met as a child, and one of those is connection, love, belonging, feeling that we're important, feeling that we're significant. If those needs aren't met, then we carry a lot in our backpack. We carry a lot. And I like to walk around. I like to say that I walk around with this backpack of life, and the more experiences, the more stress and trauma, the good things and the bad things that get put in your backpack, it gets heavier and heavier as we get older. So I often go into this, invisible backpack and see what is weighing me down, whether it is past trauma, past this, that, relationships. And the only thing that is heavy that I carry around in that is this book. And I call it the book of connection. And there's 3 chapters in it: connection with ourself, connection with other people, and connection with whatever spirituality is for you. And for me, and I'm pretty sure for you too, Dr. Brenda, it's nature. So that's why it's so important. And having sisterhood, having groups, having tribes, having community, which is another C word, is what really helps us to grow and to sort of shed those onion layers of stuff so that we can just grow and we can become a better person for who we are. So yeah, connection is very important in my world and your world.
It is. So here's one of the challenges that coaches have. We're coaches. I think all coaches have this challenge, that we put out all of this great stuff, and whatever we're doing, whether it's finances or personal stuff, habits, it is all about change. Now, like I just put a post out into my group this morning. I'm like, you know what? I'm really tired of Facebook group. I am. I'd love for you to come into my mighty network. I can give you all this great stuff in the Gutsy Women Finances community, but you have to want it.
Yeah.
And you have to want change.
Yeah.
And it's amazing how so much of our time as coaches is spent trying to promote, trying to advertise, trying to bring in people who are ready for that change. But what is it that you think that finally somebody raises their hand and they said, okay, I mean, like, okay, so like we both gave up alcohol, right? I mean, it's like I was ready for a change. I can't tell you why at that moment I was ready, and I wasn't ready 2 years ago.
Yeah.
So what do you think about like
and
to change?
Okay, so that's good, because change is another C word, right? That is it. And so are the challenges that we encounter. But what I find is when I meet somebody, when I connect with somebody that is ready to actually do the work, the one thing that they're curious, right? They have to be curious.
Good point.
That's the C word. They have to want to change, and to be able to want and to change, they need some clarity. Right? So curiosity and clarity. And the third component is confidence. So when we have these discussions and when we're going out there and we're talking, we're exuding to a certain degree what we are doing, what we're coaching, the clarity that we have had in our life to make these huge changes, and the confidence that we have not only to help other people, but to keep moving in the direction. And that's the collaboration component too that we've got going here. Can you, yeah?
Wow, that is a lot of C words in there.
I know. And it's all about having conversations as well with the women and being open and honest. You see a lot of people out there like, oh, my life is so great. Everything is great. And in the background, they're ready to rip their hair out and screaming and yelling. So it's being honest. I know that for me, it's not all cherries. And I've had people say to me, cherries, it's not all rainbows and unicorns, right? And I've had people say, well, you're just too happy. And I'm like, oh, well, do you want me to be unhappy? I like being happy. And I've got this like really high energy level. And that's what helps me. That my energy is part of my skills and part of my talents that I carry with me. That is really quite infectious towards other people that I work with. They like that energy. They liked a mentor who is energetic, who's fun and playful, and who has demonstrated change in the past. So yeah.
So I just signed up for this program for coaches, and it's on the best-selling book called Positive Intelligence. And it is about, it is our mind that controls so much of the way that we're feeling emotionally, and our intellect, and just whether our positivity. And so one of those, he talks about saboteurs and sages. Now, everybody has a saboteur called the judge. Every one of us. Oh, Speaking of, my cat has a mouse and is bringing it to me, but it's okay because it's a stuffed mouse. So she's meowing at me. So everybody has, the judge is one of our saboteurs. We judge ourselves, we judge other people. It's just part of who we are. But there's another saboteur that is pretty common called the controller. You know, we want control. We want to think that we can change somebody else. We want to, you know, we do our best to create a better future, right? But we can't control it. So what do you think about the control word?
Oh, control is in my language every single day. It's in my conversations that I have, and it's also in my journaling. And it's a lot in the hypnotherapy work too. Control is a reason. It's a root cause for a lot of other behaviors that we have as an adult that are self-sabotaging, right? Those controlling thoughts, our controlling actions, our desire for control. A beautiful quote from this guy named Kerwin Ray. He's an Australian motivational expert, is that as soon as we release our desire for control, we release our trigger for anxiety. So there's I'm going to say it again. As soon as we release our desire for control, we release our trigger for anxiety. So the desire for control, whether it's conscious or subconscious, that is a big thing. If we grew up and we have these patterns and these habits and these conditioned ways of being to need control, then it's going to seep into every single thing that we do, every single relationship that we have. So I'm a perfect example of a control freak. And I grew up and I became the parent when I was 13, when my parents split up. And I was the one that was in charge, right? And so I always say I was given control on a golden platter so that I can make sure everything happened in the family. And so I became accustomed to making sure everything was in control. The girls were there, that my mom was safe, that, you know, everything was done. And so that this controlling nature came forth, and it stayed with me beyond when I needed to feel that safety. Go ahead.
I'm just thinking.
Oh my gosh, you've frozen. She said she was just thinking, and then, okay.
I'm here.
Okay,
My life, people say my life is out of control. When somebody says that, what does that mean to you?
It means that they're a control freak. That's what it means.
But there have been times in our lives where I've said this, you know, my life is out of control. It feels like you're just blowing in the wind, like there's just like all this stuff happens at once. You know, you know, the work life, maybe something exploded there, the personal life. I mean, it's like, oh my God, it's like, holy crap. I got no control over this. So when somebody says my life is out of control, to me, that's also an indicator that there's just chaos. There's circumstances that are going on, and we do need to, like, I don't know what word to use. You can help me out, but like, we want to try to make sense of it. We want to maybe take control over part of it.
We want to find calm.
Oh, that's on my list. That's on my list.
As control was on mine. See, from calm to chaos, from chaos to calm. So growing up, it really does have a lot to do with how. So when, oh my gosh, everything is out of control. Number one, you've got too much on your plate, and you are unable to find that calm in the moment, which is honestly the core of all the work that I've been doing in the last few years is getting myself out of the chaos. And for me, chaos is either living in the past or living in the future and unable to live presently, mindfully in the moment, consciously, right? So out of control, it's like, oh, I've got to do this. I got to do this. There's too much going on, when really all we can do is focus on one thing and just be there for it. And yeah, we can have lots of stuff going on, but our mind, we have to tell our mind what to do. Otherwise, it's going to do everything that we ask it to. And when we're undecided about what we want to do. Oh, for example, I want to lose weight, but I really love chocolate bars. Your mind is going, well, what the heck? You want to do both? So it's like two parts that come together and they don't agree. So nothing gets done. And that's where procrastination and pushing away and distraction. That's what I think.
Yeah, I've just been thinking about this more and more because, I'm doing too much. I'm working way too much. Sometimes things feel chaotic, but I've switched from when I was younger to now to like letting things flow whichever way the universe lets them flow. So this morning I connected with a contact, somebody I knew in my previous thing about something I'm trying to do now. And there may be opportunities. And so, it's okay to kind of sit in a place where you don't have clarity, as long as you keep the door open to realizing that, if I just keep going through what I'm doing and keep connections and keep my eyes open for possibilities and opportunities, I'm probably going to find them. I might not find them today. I might not find them this month, but I'm determined that they're out there. That magic is going to happen. Yeah. So, you can say, okay, yep, things are chaotic. I'd like to go into a calm place. But it's like somewhere in that chaos, maybe a little nugget that's hiding that just like opens the door to a different type of future that will lead you into a place you want to be that you didn't even know you wanted to be in.
That's the curiosity. You have to keep your curiosity, handles open and look for those opportunities in all of the challenges. And you can do that more. You can get that clarity more often when you are calm rather than when you're on fire in that chaotic state, which is why I brought it back to just like trying to find the calm. So if there's all these things being fired at you, you can actually just do any number of quick activities, tasks, quick exercises to just like bring yourself, ground yourself, right?
Okay. So can I toss out like 3 words and you give me 1 sentence for each?
Oh, this is new. I think.
I just made it up.
Hey, you give me 1 word and then I'm going to give you 1 word.
Okay.
Hey.
Here's your word. Canoe.
Hey. So 1 sentence with canoe in it. Finding calm and clarity in a crazy world brings me to a place in my mind where I'm paddling a canoe down the river.
Oh, that's very soothing, isn't it?
Yeah. Okay, here's your word. Are you ready?
Okay, I'm ready.
Codependent.
The biggest way to lose your money is by giving it to someone to encourage their codependence.
Love it. Codependency, like if you want.
Yep. And that's actually pretty true.
Yeah. Well, that's a big thing. Codependency. Stop. Tell me in a couple of sentences about codependency and self-development and growth in the financial world. Questions just getting longer.
Ooh, well, where I see people really losing control of their finances, part of it, I think, is going back to like what you always talk about with people pleasing. We want to please people, but they've got members of the family who have addictions, who have some type of issue, and they are constantly bailing them out. And so I see these people approaching retirement and they've got almost nothing there. It's like, well, who's going to bail you out? So it is, again, feeling like there's some nobility in making these personal sacrifices, financial sacrifices for somebody else. And quite likely that person is going to use your money to continue that bad behavior. They have to be in charge of their own life making decisions and facing the consequences. So as
Mm.
long as you keep this codependent relationship, you're not helping the other person, and you're likely hurting yourself, your own sense of worth, your finances, your journey.
Yeah, and many other areas in your life. I really like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Consequences is a big idea, especially in talking about codependency, and it can tear you down and stop the growth. It can stop any growth, and it enables the other person. That giving. What we need to learn, and what we, especially as women, have a hard time doing is accepting. And that can be something simply as, accepting a compliment. I've got a quick exercise for you to do, which will show the give and take kind of arena that we're playing in. So I want you to breathe out. Come on, you got to do it, Brenda, Dr. B.
Okay.
You got to breathe out. So you're giving. I want you to breathe in now, and you're taking. I want you to breathe out again. You're giving. Breathe in, and you're taking, and the balance there. Now I just want you to breathe out once. Breathe out again. Breathe out again, and again, and again. Now take a breath in. So if we give and give and give and give, we feel devastated. We feel energyless. And so it's the giving and the taking that we need to do. And so I know that kind of is a bit of a stretch off the codependency topic, but it is. We have to learn to accept, and we have to learn to give. And that's what I have to say about it.
Okay, I got another word for you.
Okay.
Constellation.
Constellation. I
I know you like your night skies.
love my night skies and the northern lights. When I lie in my hot tub staring at the sky, I often get a question and ask myself why there are so many planets. I'm Janine McJannet, and what they're doing for me in this constellatory. I try to bring a bit of poetry into stuff, but
Wow.
sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't.
Well, good plug for your name in there.
Well, I know. I think that's the only word that rhymes with McJannet. I've got a word for you. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Caring.
Caring.
Like to care. Care or caring?
Putting yourself in somebody else's shoes, having empathy is nothing more than show that you care about someone. I mean, I feel like we've gotten so divisive, at least in the US, and it's all us versus them, and we're labeling people by their appearance, their age, their gender, their sexual orientation, the color of their shoes. And when we get through those barriers and basically say, hey, how are you? How's your day going? I care about what you do. All of that hatred is gone. We're all just at our very core human beings who want a connection, who want to be seen, who want some love. And so, it's not a weakness to show that we care about somebody, that we care about a perfect stranger.
It's a beautiful thought. And it is. I can see in many parts of the world that the whole competition, that's what it is, very competitive world out there where we strive to have more, be more, get more. And if we can work towards changing that competition to compassion, then it will be a better place. I mean, you look at all the head, peace gurus in the world and in the past. It's about being together. It's about that connection. It's about understanding. It's about listening. Imagine
if we could compete over caring.
Yeah, that's changing the perspective, our conscious mind. We have this path in there that we must do this. Like it's all our beliefs. And our beliefs are being changed every day as people watch media, social media, TV, news, life events. We're being brainwashed. We're being brainwashed externally. How can we flip that around and brainwash ourselves internally for what we really want to be? That's where the clarity comes in. That's where we start to give ourselves the concrete messages of who we want to be and how we want to do.
Yeah, it's interesting because we started by talking about connections, but in a lot of ways, we have to disconnect from all that noise. We have to disconnect from the hostility, the hatred, the negativity. I have purposely disconnected from people who drag my energy level down. You know, I mean, you can, there you go, darling. Go ahead, baby.
I call them vacuum cleaner friends. Right?
Well, they're not friends anymore. I mean, it's just very difficult to hang around people who have that energy sucking thing. So, you know, that's, I guess, the opposite of connecting. It's protecting ourselves, protecting our psyche, protecting our growth by surrounding. I mean, everything is about like the top 4 or 5 people you surround yourself with, the people you hang with. That's the image. That's who you become. So you've got to disconnect from the noise.
And to do that, we all have the ability, and I think this is a beautiful way to end this, I love this C word. Can you guess what it is? We all have a choice.
Yes.
And our choice is to think one way or think another, to do one thing, to do another, to be with one person or not to be with that person, to spend our money, to not spend our money, to look for a mentor or to not look for a mentor, to grow or to stay still. It's all of our choice. And when we can grasp that it is a choice, because not always, especially in the people pleaser, the perfectionist world, all the self-saboteurs coming in, we don't realize, and the codependency, we don't realize we have a choice, but it's really looking for that clarity. We all have a short life. It's short and it's getting shorter every day. So what do you really want to do? Because what the heck are we waiting for? And I say we, because still there's components and there's parts of me that are just like wanting to be set free. And I've found that freedom in different areas, but to really capture the freedom in all of the different areas in this cycle of life that we're living in. Gosh, can you see all these seeds that are coming out?
You are hot. You are on fire.
But it's choice. It's always your choice of what you do and how you think. And it's even a choice whether or not you react. And if there's a problem with anything that you do, that you say, that you think, then there's people out there that can help you guide and help to rewire those neural pathways in your brain. It's a choice. You get to make it. You can stay as you are, or you can grow.
Well, you know, in a way, though, it's a little bit elitist, because when you are trying to survive, you got to go to the well and get your water. It's not a choice. And partly that's why I teach financial freedom, because you get to a point where you've got the stability, you've got some resources set up. Now all of the choices are there. It is truly a choice. When you're just eking out and trying to survive, it's, I guess you can choose to go to work or not, but the consequences are severe. When you've got a couple $1 million saved up and you don't need to work, it's a choice. It makes a huge difference.
That's a choice. Go ahead.
In the back of my mind, as you're saying that, I'm like, you know what? You and I need to get in that RV and go around Australia.
Happening, baby. That's a choice that's in my bucket.
We can do the Australian free spirit tour.
You would love it there. I mean, I've traveled around, not the whole country, but the West Coast and the South and the West, the East and the North. And it's just incredible. It's so captivating and it's just so cool. That's all I can say. There's so many pieces of it. So yeah, what are you stopping for? So in a sentence, I'd like you to use as many C words to conjure up an image of what this conversation was and how we can help other people get their clarity in going forward.
Oh man, my head hurts.
No, that does not count.
like I talk about, I'm not going to be able to do this in one sentence, but like I talk about the dream life, and we don't have the clarity. A lot of times we don't know what that looks like, but it's about being open. And I'm not going to do good on my C words, and being open to change and letting your dreams sort of percolate. So over time, you're going to figure this out. I mean, it is kind of like try to be calm now. You don't have to have everything figured out. Your life changes. It's about making the better choices. It's about prioritizing. So, yeah, I'm going to have to do better on my C words because I got camel and cabin and canyon, and that's just not working right now.
Yeah, well, there's a lot. Like, it's a very powerful word, and it's a powerful thing when you think of it. That's why they called it an ocean and the sea. There's a lot of power behind it, pushing it
It's a
constantly.
calamity.
Calamity, yeah.
Okay, go, Janine. You practiced.
No, I haven't.
Oh, good.
You have to be curious. You have to want change. It's your choice. You can find it in community, and you can get the clarity consciously by connecting with yourself, with others, and with whatever spirituality you have. So let's celebrate ourselves every single day with some self-care.
Ooh, celebrate is good. I forgot about the C's that start with the F that sound like an S. That's
Oh, I know you did.
Let's
Yeah,
celebrate.
celebrate.
Let's have celery and celebrate.
Celebrate good times. Come on.
Woohoo!
Do. Okay, and I guess it's time.
Okay. All right, let me shut us down, and hey, stick around. I think we are back next Friday. D words, stick around for D words and give us some D words so that we've got some stuff to work with here, guys.
Beautiful.
See you later.
Hey, ciao, ciao. Ciao, ciao. Another
Ciao,
double C.
ciao.